the beneficent, the most merciful, the truthful, and the most just. May Allah's salam alaikum. We thank Allah for allowing us to once again meet with you for congregational prayer service and to remind you that you should continuously keep up prayer. As we stay prayerful, we stay mindful. And this world does not distract us and make us forget about Allah. It is it's time now that everybody be judged. Before we could judge you, we had to teach you what the judgment is. And as we are now knowledgeable that just like this world, as I hinted to you last night, excuse me. As I hinted to you last night, the same way that they have lawbreakers and people that enforce the laws. It is not a accident that this world was set up like it is to teach you and I a lesson. Same way this world has enforcers, you're about to find out that Allah can enforce, and He has things set up to enforce His covenant, which is His law, that you were told in the Sabbath day, stop doing the things that you do that of evil. It's like a brother. One of the brothers was talking to me about our GoFundMe account, and he was disappointed that no one has added anything to it. And I told him I didn't set it up there because I expected people to add something to it. I told you all why I set it up. So that you wouldn't have no cry against me. Talking about the whole world is in judgment now. I mean, they're going to have no cry against me. And come up to me talking about you didn't know how you could have helped. You're a lie. You did know how you could have helped. I set up a way for you to help if you wanted to. I said, I will curse those that curse thee. That's all. I mean, I know how it is when people, I mean, there's nobody that denies our 400 years of suffering. And nobody say we haven't been through 400 years of slavery. You got people that say the Holocaust didn't exist. You got people out there that say that. You don't hear nobody say that our slavery didn't happen. When you hear me, even now, you'll notice they said that the Nation of Islam, under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was shirk. In other words, it was not true Islam. Ain't nobody telling me that now. See, I'm doing something that you don't understand. The messenger told you. Let me see here. You know, I've heard people say hateful things about Jesus. You know, I mean, I've heard people say. I've even heard people sit up and talk about Solomon, and you know that he wasn't no good, and all this kind of thing. But I want you to. I want you to hear these things. You see. Let's see here.
I don't say I'm a prophet because it's the end of prophet. I'm a messenger of God and not a prophet. I got nothing to prophesy because it's the end of prophet. So I got nothing to prophesy. Elijah, the man is prophesied in the Bible, spoken of in a few places in the Quran, as a righteous man, good man. The Holy Quran gave it to him, and that he was with the number of those prophets, but not exactly referring to him as a prophet, because he did not come to prophesy, but to deliver the final message to the people and join with God. That's why you don't find his way in the Bible or the Quran. You don't find where they married you like. Well, but go ahead and see his reading of him. Not that he lived forever, but he lasted under several other names. The Bible calls this name as one with God. It says this man's name means God is with us. And that is also true interpretation. God is with us today. And I'm with you. Bible teaches you and me that this Elijah must first come. He don't come after God. He goes before God. And this is what the book is saying. He must first come. But right behind him, God will appear. There will come. Let thy will be done. The Christian prayer. On earth as it is in heaven. But you and me never did get the true meaning of what he meant. Let thy will. How can thy will mean no love? Will can be done as long as the will of the devil is practiced. You cannot set up the will of God universally as long as he has a free enemy to attack his will. We must rid the people of an open enemy, as the Holy One teaches. Two for one. We must rid the earth of such opponents who are not secret. They're open opponents. We must rid the earth of open enemies and secret enemies.
People were coming all on the internet openly attacking the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and what he was teaching. And none of these other people was able to put a stop to it. I put a stop to it. And now I'm going to put a stop to all this other foolishness you got going. First thing I had to do was make sure you understood who I am.
Let thy will be done, as it is in heaven. Let it be done on earth. Your will should not be hindered by no means and by no one. So God raised it up himself to fight the final war for truth, peace, and security for the righteous. He comes out himself to be the king. Comes out himself to be the king and lead the righteous to victory.
Everything that I'm doing, they told you what I would do. So it ain't no shock to nobody but somebody who called it a lie. So, just like last night, I told you, it ain't never been about what color you are. We ain't never been wrestling against no flesh. It's just that when we were children, we thought it like children. That's why the messenger said, you go by his color, because you didn't know who was up under the color. But no, the white man ain't the devil because he's white. He's the devil because that's what we put in him. That's a curse that we put on him. And now I'm offering to take it off of him and off of everybody, because death passed on everybody from him. The curse of death. People running around committing murder, talking about somehow they having a holy war. No more. If you don't stop now, you soon ain't gonna be sucking air on this planet. All of you who listening all around the earth, if you find me saying something that you take offense with, I am willing to discuss it with you. Respectfully. We've seen too many people that have been given authority that felt like they had the right to abuse those who they had a little authority over. That ain't me. If there's something that you find fault in what I teach and what I'm doing here, I'm willing to discuss it with you and hear what you have to say that may condemn something that I'm teaching. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be insulting. Because I'm going to show you respect if you come into my forum. And I'm not going to tolerate you showing me disrespect. So, as my teacher told me, he said, you don't disrespect people who are trying to respect you. And he said, if the white man, and he has, freed you and me, then they are not to blame today. He said, you are to blame. He said, you go all over the world, all over the earth. He said, he don't stop you. You go wherever you want. Then they are not to blame today. He said that Allah have freed or loosed you and me to go to work. He come and he give to you and me a flag representing freedom, justice, and equality. He said we hoist that flag on his soil. He didn't say take it down. No, he did not prevent you from hoisting your flag right up beside his. So he's not to blame today. No more putting our faults on other people. But at the same time, we ain't accepting you putting your fault on us either. I'm sick and tired of people getting in positions of authority and deciding they want to use their position of authority to practice past 400 years of slavery. They want to put us back into it. No, we're going to put you off this planet. And it's going to start with you losing your mind. The only reason you not totally insane now is because I have given you grace. By the grace of thy Lord, thou art not mad. Well, you had to have a grace period in order to determine whether I'm the Son of Man or not. You needed time. So you got that. You had to have time to hear the knowledge that I'm sharing with you of the Holy Scriptures to determine whether or not it's factual or I'm just some another false prophet out here. So you had time for that. How do I know when you've had enough time? When the last time you heard somebody come in here and accuse me of misrepresenting the scriptures? When? Been a while, ain't it? But that means that you know that I'm teaching the truth. Well, if I'm teaching the truth of the scriptures, then it don't take no rocket scientist to realize that then I must be the spirit of truth. You got an old saying in this world, if it walk like a duck, got feathers like a duck, got a bill like a duck, and it quack like a duck, then it must be a duck. Y'all said that. Read what the spirit of truth is supposed to do. Read what the Son of Man has authority to do. Read it all and then see if it applies to me. then how can you not believe that I'm the Son of Man and I'm doing everything that the book said the Son of Man would do, including letting you stay right at home? You ain't got to leave out your house. The book said if they say he's in the desert, go not forth. If they say he's in the secret chambers, believe it not. Because as the lightning, as the sun rises out of the east and shines, even unto the western hemispheres, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. That's why we needed the internet. So that wouldn't nobody have to leave their country to hear the Son of Man. If you stupid enough to try to stop me from talking to the people by thinking you going somehow, I'm not going to pay now dime more than I done paid for these lines here. But I'm still going to judge you just like in your court. You hold courts on people even if they don't show up. It's called civil matters. This is a civil matter, which is a short for civilized. So no matter what you do to block me, it ain't going to change the judgment. Because you could have heard if you wanted to. And you could put on evidence for yourself against me if you wanted to. I would let you hear, I'd let you come in here and show me how I'm telling other than the truth on your religion. If I say your religion is a lie, I don't blame you for getting insulted if your religion ain't a lie. But if I told the truth and say your religion is a lie, how am I insulting you? If it's a lie. All y'all's religions is lies. That's why you can't call no prophet to witness. They all with me. So I want you to understand that if you want to be righteous now, then you can. Get in these classes, bring your scriptures, and I will guide you where you can. I will instruct you in righteousness. You don't do evil for evil. You ain't never seen no sheep out there in a fight with nobody. Oh, that's the shepherd. He deal with the wolf. What kind of shepherd you got that's suggesting to you that I'm the wolf, but he sent you out here to meet me? No, anybody got a problem or a bone to pick with something I said, that's not your responsibility to answer that. That's my responsibility. Tell them to see me. Matter of fact, get me on the phone while they talking to you. Yeah. And watch how quick they beat their feet. I remember this one stupid man called me and Charles himself trying to question me about one of my followers, which was his honor, some And I was willing to answer his questions, but he got downright disrespectful. Yeah, I wound up casting him into hell. And once I cast you in hell, ain't no sense you calling me back. I tell you what you do. When the judge finally make adjudication and throw you in jail, try to come back in there and talk to him, see if he talk to you. He ain't gonna talk to you no more. You had your chance to talk to him, and you blew it. You said, no. When I make myself available to you to have a civil conversation with you, which no other leader does that. There ain't no preacher, he ain't gonna let you get him in front of his congregation and go back and forth with him, examining him. He ain't gonna do it. And I'll let you come in here and examine me in front of the whole world. Then you want to come in here and disrespect me? I ain't gonna be your nigga. No more. Now you come in here, you don't want to, you ain't gonna get on no first name basis with me either. I've already taught you that when a person is speaking, just like right now, I'm not speaking to your flesh. I'm speaking to the mind that's in that flesh. My mother named my flesh Marvin. The mind that's speaking to you is the Son of Man. Now, when you want to come in here and talk to me, you better remember that. Now, if you don't remember it, I'm going to set your behind in hell and let you remember it. Because it's not done because you know me or whatnot. Now, there's people that I grew up with. They call me Marvin. I said, yeah, man, what's going on? Because that's all they know me as. Rudy, Lawrence, it's a whole lot of brothers that knew me when, brought me in the nation. If he don't call me Son of Man, I ain't got no problem with Brother Donald calling me Brother Marvin. Because that's what he knew me as. And even he puts brother in front of it. But here's some sycophant comes in here, I don't know him up by no first name. I ain't never liked that when somebody get you on the phone and ask, may I speak to Marvin? May I speak to, you're calling you by your first name and you don't know who they are. They ain't got no better sense than to call you up like they've been knowing you all your life instead of saying Mr. Muhammad or Miss Johnson or Miss Jones or Mr. Jones or whatnot. That's very disrespectful. Well, from now on, your disrespect gonna cost you. Now, if you don't believe it, I'll just make some examples out of you. I told you, if you won't take the lesson, you become the lesson. Allah didn't waste nothing. Everything he created, it can be a example of what happens when you obey him, or it can be an example of what happens when you don't. Do you understand? You see? It's just like some creatures. There are some creatures who sleep during the day, what we call day, you see. And then there are some creatures that when our day is gone, they wake up and their day begin. And the scientists have shown you that the night, just like the bat and some owls and whatnot, they see as in the dark. Don't pay no attention to him lying talking about the bat got eyes and can't and they don't work. It's just that's foolishness. The night is his day, and the day is his night. Do you understand? That's why the book says the evening and the morning were the first day. You see? But anyway, I like to get the hard stuff out the way, because sometimes people only listen to me at the point I'm fussing about something, and they think that's all I do. Well, that's because they didn't bother to stick around to hear me out. I just wanted you to understand that I'm not here to play with you. It should be clear to you that something is going on different with me. I done shut the mouths of all of these. How do people let me get away with saying that all of the preachers are liars? All of the imams lying to you. All the rabbis are lying to you. The Pope is a liar. Now how I'm getting away with saying these things? They don't even tweet about me. Even Donald Trump don't tweet about me. And I talk about him. He's a racist bigot. And all these people that's in positions of authority, you remember I told them just follow the money. They following it too. And they finding out you got people that's been bought and paid for sitting up there making unjust laws for the American people to live under. They don't care nothing about black people, and they don't care nothing about white people. All they care about is money. They done sold themselves to whoever done made them wealthy and got their money sitting off hid over here in the banks, that now it's being traced back. You know, if they find the Queen's money in a bank somewhere else, they're going to find yours. They're going to find it. Get all them liars, all them crooks out of your government. That's what you do. I told them, if you don't care nothing about America, see, it's no way you care about America. The continent, this continent that you call North America is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who live here. If you don't care about the people, why do you want to be up over them? Do you want someone up over you that don't care about you? As you would that men do to you. I told them, I warned them, if you don't love America, get out. Just leave. Their money is out there. They just well to go too. But no, they ain't satisfied to getting rich off of you. Then they want to murder you. Well, they forgot. I told you, God didn't say that all the world was going to judge Babylon. He said, that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And you know, don't no judge like you interfering with his court. He find you in contempt. Punish you for sitting up in there interfering in his court business. Well, you left me alone with America when they was enslaving me. So you leave me alone with him whom I created and gave him vast riches and sons dwelling in his presence. And yet he desires more. It's hard to be grateful when you don't see nothing. You want more. You ain't satisfied. Well, by no means. So you better stay out of it. Stay out of this situation here. Since you left yourself out of it, ain't no nation never called America on the carpet for 400 years of our slavery. You know why? It's because this was God's doing. The scripture says, Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that's not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Yeah. And you know what kind of man Abraham was. Abraham was just like that prayer Jesus said, thy will be done. Father, not my will, but thy will be done. And then he told Abraham, he said, and afterward shall they come out with great wisdom. Now, if you think that Allah have not given me great wisdom, let's see you stand up and talk to the world and shut everybody's mouth. How come ain't nobody nowhere typing something that is a legitimate argument against what I teach? It's because Allah said, the kings of the earth shall shut their mouths at him. Yeah. What are you going to say? Everything I say, I prove it as I say it. You know, you remember when the man told me about God? I talked to the atheist. And before we got started, I said, well, what do you mean when you say God? See, I know how to get rid of all this confusion. Your problem is you won't tell people what they mean, or you make assumptions about what people mean. I make people tell me what they mean. Oh, you say, well, they can lie to you. No, you can't lie to me. You just think you can. Because if you tell me a lie, then something else that you did or that I heard you say going to tell me that you just lied, because that ain't what you did here. If you really believe that, then why did you do this? It's just like what I said about white people. The reason why these rednecks around here love the Bible so much. They ain't never told you, but it's because slave obey your master. That's what they like. I took that away from them last night. I've been took that away from them. Call no man master. Be you not called masters. For one is your master, even Christ. No, we see. See, you thought that the biggest this is the muscles you stretching. This the muscle I've been stretching. That's what slavery was for. It was for us to grow our mental muscle. That's why Allah put us in the hand of the physical beast and told us, now you got to think your way out of this. That's as good as said that. We had to think our way out of this. That's what we did this for. So we could produce a wiser mind. And y'all just ain't produced nothing that this world, you haven't produced a mind yet equal to the one that Allah done put in me. And you never will. The mind that's in me is exponentially just steadily growing. You see? And that's what I'm here for. To make humanity fulfill its destiny as the God of the universe. Everything that exists had a beginning. I am the beginning and the ending. I'm the author and the finisher of the faith. One faith, one baptism, one Lord. See, I ain't changing nothing. I'm just fulfilling it. So I'm not through adjudicating racism, but I said, I got to finish talking about it tomorrow, but I don't already said to hell with every racist, everybody that still think that they can mistreat somebody simply because that person is not their color. To hell with you. Amen and amen. That don't mean I'm pushing integration either. Soon there won't be no white folks if you keep on intermarrying into them. I'm not trying to get rid of white people. I like the human family the way it is. Let the white man stay white, let the yellow man stay yellow, let the brown man stay brown, and let the black man stay black. In my Father's house, there you go. See, everything in the book bear me witness. You see, we can be brothers and sisters without all of us trying to live in the same house. Ain't you got relatives that you don't live in their house? Well, why you don't understand the principle that ain't nothing wrong with white people having their own country? Ain't nothing wrong with brown and yellow and black people having their own countries. We can live, it's the big earth. And it's enough planets in the universe for every individual on the earth to have his own planet. And there'll still be plenty left over. So, so we just got to get these little people out of authority whose minds just can't seem to get past kindergarten. The president of the United States going around insulting everybody that don't look like him. I mean, what is that? That's a fool. He have said in his heart that there is no God. He got to believe there is no God. That he can be up in a high office like that and can't nobody put a stop to his foolishness. Even Richard Nixon had sense enough to tell Henry Kissinger to come pray with me, Henry. That's what he told him. And when Henry hesitated, he said, Henry, don't never be too proud to go on your knees before God. How in the world a man get to be president that does not believe, that does not know that there is a God? I tell you how he got to be there. Didn't President Reagan, the one they always praising, what did he call Russia? Godless empire? No. How you think you got a godless president? I told you to get out. If you didn't want to, if you didn't care nothing about the people, I'm gonna tell it. It all falls in place. He calls racists and bigots nice people. Even when a white person got killed by them, he didn't care. Hitler was killing white folks. He wasn't going around there. He didn't jump on Africa. He jumped on Europe. Huh? You just don't know. You play with fire. What happened? And the gin we created of intensely hot fire. We created the gin of the nature of fire. Ain't loyal to nobody. That's why we gave them what you call masonry. And if they studied from 35 to 50 years, then we let them wear the crescent and star, because they could once a year. You see, they couldn't come among us unless they had studied and learned who is who. And so now I'm telling you, you better take to heart the offer of salvation that I'm making to you. It's being gradually withdrawn. You know, mercy and justice go together. But as it's written, the messenger said it like this. He said, Allah came to do you good. If you will not accept the good, he will do you evil. Whether you realize it or not, when I decide to stop talking to you, that's what hell is. Peace ain't got but one source. Allah is the author of peace. Haven't you noticed while I'm talking to you, you forget about time and everything else? Because your mind is at peace. Your mind get back. The only reason you don't get at peace when I'm speaking to you is because your mind's somewhere else other than on what I'm teaching. But if you take in what I'm teaching, you be at peace. That's why ain't no big hurry to rush off or whatever, because, when you're at peace, you don't want to go nowhere. So, once I decide that I don't want you to have no peace, I stop talking to you. I got to do nothing to you. I'll leave you alone. So Allah leaves them alone in their inordinacy, blindly wandering on. So, uh, you have a sanctuary here. That's what the scripture tells you, that the Lord of hosts himself. The reason I'm called the Lord of hosts is because that's what all of the prophets and messengers were. They were hosts of the truth. When you let some in, somebody knock on your door, if you let them in, then you are their host. You see? The book says, blessed are they that do hunger and thirst after righteousness. If you hunger and thirsty for righteousness, then you will let the instruction of righteousness in, won't you? You will be a host to it, huh? Well, then the truth is, as the book says, God is the God of the living, not of the dead. The dead can't take in oxygen and let it back out. Only the living can do that. So he's the Lord of hosts. And the hosts are the men that you call prophets. So seek refuge in the Lord of men, the King of men, the God of men. That's what the book teaches you. In the Bible, it said the Lord of hosts. Same thing. As Jesus said, yet you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth. Jesus saw himself as a man, like every other messenger of God. So when they try to make him something more than that, I don't know nothing more than man. I've never seen an equal to man other than another man. So I don't think I need to be nothing more. So I'm satisfied. I'm the son of man. And that's good enough. You don't have to say the honorable son of man. That ain't got nothing. You ain't got to put no honorable on the front of it. Just the son of man is sufficient. You see? It takes away from the title to put something else with it. You can't say it better than Allah already said it. The son of man. That's enough. All right? Okay. So I want you to remember, keep up prayer. And stop worrying about what the devil doing and worry about what Allah wants you to do. Am I clear? And if you do that, you wind up at peace. Your biggest worry is to cast the devil out of you. And I'm giving you the knowledge that will help you do that. All you got to do is take in what I teach you, and it automatically starts changing your whole being. See? Because in the final analysis, You ain't gonna have nobody to blame but yourself if you didn't get righteous. It's you. You ain't responsible for nobody but yourself. Am I clear? You heard Muhammad say the prophets told you that. I'm worried about myself, myself, myself. Jesus was so worried about himself that he left knowledge back here that would testify to me that he never tried to set himself up as my equal. You see, you can't lie on him no more. When that man came to Jesus and said, "Good master," and Jesus corrected him. He said, "Why are you calling me good? There is none good but one, and that is God." David backed him up. He said, "For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations." Now you can think and say whatever you want about me, but without me, you got no salvation. You didn't have it before I got here. I don't know what make you think you got it if you reject me. You got nothing. You can be white as snow or black as tar. If you turn me down, you are damning yourself to hell. Now, that's it. Now, and you see a lot of those, people in the government. Some of them listening to me because they sure going after them crooks up there, and everybody wanted to hurry up and get through. Now, no, it ain't gonna hurry up and get through. It's gonna get through when they get you. And that song says, "I'm working my way back to you." That's a song say that. Yeah, yeah. And the the Holy Scriptures. The messenger said, "The sun is going down in the west." Well, before anything comes up, it goes down. Before crops come up, the seeds have to grow down and the roots have to grow down. Then the thing comes up. Do you understand? So you see, the sun of righteousness is rising from the west. You see? So now I don't say that everybody over in the east is against me. No. You finding out everybody over there ain't against me because they those people, they takes the Quran and everything seriously, as at least they put on that show of taking it serious. How come ain't nobody typing about me online, saying hateful things about me? And now if you do try to do it, somebody else tells you to shut up. Because you know why? When people listen to me, they realize that why you need to feel the need to insult that man. That man is the only one out there inviting people who disagree with him to come talk to him. You don't go and insult people who trying to show you the respect that they respect your thinking process and want to hear what you think. I'm the only man on the internet that's not a bigot. ask the average person to back up something that they printed and they run from you. That's, well, what did you print this for? What is that about? I don't want to talk about it. What you mean you don't want to talk about it? What you put it there for then? You remember when the man took me to Revelation and I wanted to talk to him about that 11th or 13th verse? And he told me he don't want to discuss that. After he brought it up. No, you ain't going to play me like that. You see? So, if you bring it up, then you better be ready to discuss it or shut your mouth. I'm one person that people think before they talk to. Like, yeah, I guarantee. Why do you think they ain't typing? They done started thinking before you, and that's what I want you to do with everybody. Because once you start thinking, the deceivers are finished. Once you actually start thinking, the deceivers are finished. You know why? You don't, as the thinking process works along with the hearing process. People that don't think don't listen. If you can stop and make a person think, it's because you first made them hear something. And that's what I want. I want my family, which is the human family, I want you to hear. So that can't no lie get past you. Can't no lie manipulate you. Because when you start asking people, why you want me to do that? And they start saying, well, I was just suggesting. Well, why would you suggest that? Well, then they know you ain't the walking dead no more. You notice in the walking dead, they are flesh eaters. They are cannibals. What is that to tell you? They cannibal. What is the biggest problem with human beings now? They attack and murder each other. They kill the flesh of one another. That's because you're walking dead. It's time to give you life. In the same way that you scrutinize me, as you keep listening to me and scrutinizing me, you're going to find yourself doing that with other people. And then you're going to realize that I really did tell you the truth. Just, and people ain't going to want to talk to you. You'd be surprised how quick people want to stop talking to you when you start asking them questions about what they just said. Most people are just telling you things they heard from somewhere else. You don't find that out until you start questioning them about their understanding of it or whatnot. People practice saying slick things, smooth things. So, Look, let me tell you something. If you want to know the intelligence of a person, a quick way to find out, just see who they look up to. And they tell you how intelligent they are. Just that simple. You know, that's why most of them hate, all these people hate me, because by the time I finish educating you, you pay me some attention, you don't look up to none of them. I mean, after seeing the sun, I mean, ain't no star that bright, is it? Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. I'm here to free you. You know, and it feel good to be free. Knowing that you are doing according to what you think and what you understand instead of what somebody is manipulating you into, and you ain't got sense enough to know it. You see, if they had listened to me, that stuff that Grover Norquist was talking about, yeah, that stuff would have been over with. Because they'd all got up and walked out on him in the middle of one of his, in that thing where he was talking about those on the left are parasites. And every American would have got up, hey man, where you get this man out of here. What, divide and conquer? Is that the game you playing? Yeah, that's the game they playing. They don't know nothing new, like an old pimp. He don't know nothing new to do. All he can do is what he used to get by with. Do you understand? If he can't divide you against each other, he can't do you no harm. He got to get you to harm yourself. Anyway, the scripture says, as you would that men do to you. See? Can't nobody divide you against each other if you just treat people. When a person ain't did you nothing but good, then you got no reason to be mad at them. So how somebody gonna divide you? Well, you know, so and so talk about you last night behind your back, and he said some terrible things about you. Just a minute. Hey, John. Now what you saying? John said. So, oh man, I'm just joking. A man have a right to face his accusers. Too bad you don't practice that in your neighborhood. So you better start practicing it, though. Now here you got a godless president backed up by a godless empire. You remember he was asked, have you ever asked God for forgiveness? No. How do you ask forgiveness of someone that you don't believe exists? And the racists and bigots just ate that up. Because they don't believe in God either. They believe in slavery. That's what the Bible means to them. The right to enslave people. Because that's how they interpreted that. Do you understand? Now that I'm telling the truth about it, that the book says obey your master, and then tells you that there's one master, and that's Christ. And told you don't be called master. Bible don't look so good to him no more. And people don't care. Don't you know that ain't no way you could run around here committing murder and all of that if you really believed in the word of God? No, they believe in that slavery. And they thought they found something in there to justify that. Do you understand? There you go. But we let them think that till I showed up. Now, can't think that no more. Because the truth has come. And what? True understanding have come and false understanding must vanish. All right. So, all praise is due to Allah. And is anybody typing? All right. So, we are not here to do harm to anyone, but we are here to eradicate the human family of evil. We are here to eradicate evil. Why? I'll start it. We look for see, I ain't saying nothing that ain't based on what's written. How you going to have a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwells righteousness if you don't eradicate evil? All right. Okay. Those who love evil and hate good, they are unfit to be part of the body of God. Do you understand? The whole human family is God. We got to get rid of ungodly men. Don't you if you don't like some part of your body, don't you start toning it and getting rid of some of the fat and some of the stuff you don't like about it? Can the body get mad? It don't make no difference because the body getting mad, you still gonna get rid of it, ain't you? Yeah, because it's dead weight. The head is supposed to look out for the good of the body. If your right eye offend you, well, there you go. So this is every branch in me that beareth not fruit, my Father taketh it away. The fruits of righteousness, you don't bear the fruits of righteousness. If you're not, that's just another way of saying I'm teaching you and you hearing me, but you're not obeying me, then the word is unfruitful in you. It's only so long you can stay around me and be like that. So my Father is the truth. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. It's all there. So I'm going to let you go after we have prayer. Let us stand. Hot and hot. Original salute. Ready front. Prayer position. Allah is the greatest.
Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And I bear witness that I know of none who deserves to be served or worshipped beside thee. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due and be to thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful Master of the Day of Requital. Thee do we serve and thee do we beseech for help. O Allah, please continue to guide us and keep us on the right path and way, the straight path and way of thee and those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not the crooked paths and ways of Satan and those upon whom thy wrath is or will be brought down, nor the foolish paths and ways of those who go astray or who are led astray, even after they have heard and been given the true understanding of thy holy word and teachings. Truly, I have again turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be totally upright, to thee who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayers, my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate hast thou, and this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. I know of no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults and weaknesses. So please grant me and my true followers and family continuous protection against all of our faults and weaknesses. For none grants protection against faults and weaknesses but thee. And guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts. For none can guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts but thee. And turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts. For none can turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts but thee. And O Allah, we beseech thee for thy help and ask thy protection. And we believe in thee and we trust in thee. And we seek thy help to laud thee in the best manner, and to never be ungrateful unto thee, and to cast off and to forsake him or her who is disobedient unto thee, and to remove from ourselves all things that are displeasing unto thee and beside thee. And O Allah, please keep us in our right minds at all times, and let us not be or turn hypocrites or cowards, and remove from us the evil state of mind and thoughts of devils, and place within us the righteous state of mind and thoughts that are in accord with thy righteousness and thy uprightness and truth. And our Lord, please do not punish us if we forget or make a mistake. And our Lord, do not allow to be laid upon us a burden as was laid on those before us. And our Lord, do not allow to be imposed upon us that which we have not the strength to bear. And pardon us, and grant to us thy protection, and have mercy on us, and forgive us. For thou art our protector. So grant us the victory over the unbelieving and disbelieving people, and over the hypocrites and the devils, and especially over the weaknesses and afflictions that lie within each of us, and whereby we have been afflicted. And save us from the hell that thou hast promised the devils and their followers, and grant that we not only see the hereafter, but abide therein with thee. Amen.
Amen.
Hut, tent, hut. Original salute. Ready, front. You may be seated. Now, I want to say to you
Any of y'all that don't give up on yourself, I ain't gonna give up on you. That's your doing, ain't mine. What kind of physician gives up on a patient that's fighting for life? So never think that I'm giving up on you. If you don't give up on you, I sure won't. If you don't walk away from me, I'm not going to walk away from you. Do you understand? You know, when I stop caring about you, then I'll stop fussing at you. You know, if I feel like I need to fuss at my followers, I will fuss at them. Do you understand? And you will not fuss back. My hand don't talk back to me. When I, you know, if I do something that hurt it, I'm trying because it hurt me to hurt the hand. So I don't want to hurt you. It hurts me to hurt you. You know, any man don't care about those who he's responsible for guidance. He ain't got no business guiding them if it don't hurt him to hurt them. You know, so you know, people don't understand. In order to really, if I got to teach you this, you're not no leader. It's certain things. See, your body don't teach your head. Your head teaches the body. And the line of communication between every member of the body, when the body is working like it should, that line of communication stays open. That alone should tell you who I am. I give out my phone number, 601-786-1332. That's my cell phone. You know, my landline is 601-786-9742. How many other people you got their numbers like that? You can't call and text them and say hateful things to them, but you save all your hatred for the man who showed you love, huh? Okay. All right. Now understand something. I know I gave you my number. I can block you. See, all that was set up for me. You know, you can block people's call on your landline. You can block them on your cell phone. Well, Allah set that up for me. You know, because y'all the ones that's scared to give out your number. You don't give out your number to people because you don't want to be bothered with them. And I understand that. But it don't bother me to help people because that's what I was born for. I was born to counsel people. And that's why I don't have, you know, if you get in these classes and listen to me, I very seldom now get a call 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm still up by 1 or 2. But, you know, by 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to get no calls no more, waking me up or whatever. You know why? Because I was born to counsel people. I'm counseling you now. If you're really teaching people and enlightening people, then you don't do their thinking for them. You teach them how to think for themselves. That's what a good counselor is for. It's to teach you how to handle your own problem. You see? I instruct you in wisdom. And as you use what I give you, you bear me witness. It's wisdom. Yeah. You don't go around, you don't manipulate people. You deal with the situation. The greatest force on this planet is truth. The greatest force in the universe is truth. And the most immovable object you will ever run into is someone who knows the truth. A mind that is rooted in truth is immovable. So the irresistible force and the immovable object are one. Just as much as hydrogen and oxygen. They were meant to be one. That's why they're always drawn back together. And they become very dangerous when you separate them. Just like when you make the mistake of trying to separate Allah from his messenger, you wind up hurting yourself. You have to respect both and leave them both together and treat them as one. So, all right. Any questions? Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yes, ma'am. Wa alaikum salam.
Man, how do you block somebody that's calling your phone number and that they always calling you and they won't say anything? How would you block that number?
That number that comes up, you just go into your cell phone and where it say block, and then put that number in there. Block that number. You scroll down, and it'll show you. It'd say block caller. Ain't that what it say? Block caller. Yeah. They can't text you, and they can't, not from that phone no more. Now, what were you finna ask me?
Would you elaborate more on righteousness and uprightness?
Righteousness is what I'm teaching you. You follow my instructions, and that's righteousness. Remember the scriptures for instruction in righteousness? Righteousness is treating other people like you want to be treated. This world is the one that jacked it all up and made it something complicated. That's why when people hear true righteousness, they think you're not teaching them enough. Righteousness is just treating people like you want to be treated.
Doing prayer, I heard you say righteousness and uprightness.
Beg your pardon?
In prayer, while you was having prayer, did you say righteousness and uprightness?
I said uprightness.
Uprightness.
Yes. The two go together. There's no such thing as being righteous but not being upright. You see? It's just that's like pouring water on a withered plant. It's getting the water, but it's dead. It ain't gonna do it no good, is it? What is the point of hearing the word but not doing it? Be ye doers of it, and not just hearers. Do you understand? Okay. All right. Any more questions? And I'm going to tell you something else. You who have problems with these phones, it's a lot of things about the phones I don't know, but the makers of them know. Call them up. Tell them I'm having problems out of this, problems with this thing of these people doing this to me. The people at the carrier that you deal with, they'll talk you right through it. They'll walk you right through and be glad to. Yeah. Because that's why it was invented. Because they know people out there that's don't know how to leave people alone, that don't want to be bothered with them. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you don't want to be bothered with somebody, sister, you know how to tell them. And a lot of this stuff, see, they ruining it for women that really would, be telling the truth. Because some of these people lying. I don't have people come up to me, half dressed and whatnot, and wanted to take a picture with me, and I took it with them. And I didn't know them people. You better not come out there talking about accusing me of nothing. But in this climate, people get accused. But it ain't now, sister. Black women, they know how to get you off of them, brother. Is that right? Yeah, I remember when I was, I learned that back in junior high school. Even in elementary school, them little girls didn't play with you. Tell you what, you better get your hands off of me. They didn't play that. So, and from a little boy, I grew up. I was very careful about how I treated girls because I didn't want to get embarrassed. So, that's just the way it is. So now these people want to come out here grown and you want to act like, just like all them people that was Bill Cosby's age, acting like he was some kind of pervert or whatnot. No. I ain't never even seen that man out in public with no white woman. And you ain't either. And if he go out with her in private, he'd have been out there in public with her, trying to show her off. Well, that's the way the average Negro is. He get a white woman, he wants to be seen with her. Well, it's the truth. So don't tell me about all of that stuff. I'm a lot more savvy on these things than you think. So that's why I told them they're gonna get it back, and they getting it back in spades now. Don't feel so good when somebody doing it to you, huh? And they doing it to them truthfully. But that's what happens when you back up somebody lying on people. So they opened up a door that they wish they had left closed. So anyway, for the women's sake, I'm glad that it did happen. But I'm gonna tell you something. I done seen some stuff that these people ain't got no moral high ground. So I'm just telling you, no. Women and men ain't got no moral high ground to be judging nobody. So better just deal with yourself. So if there are no more questions, and look, it's a yes, ma'am. Wa alaikum salam.
Our First Corinthians, chapter 13, that talks about charity.
1 Corinthians chapter 13, it says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. You know, that's what you have seen with these people, as the book says, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, quoting, speaking with the words of the prophets and speaking with the uh, knowledge of the scholars. But charity, what is charity? See, it's not enough for me to just, it's not enough for me to just give uh, give you the answer. I try to show you how I arrived at it. Charity is a gift. So though you may speak with the words of the prophets, to him whom Allah gives no understanding, he has none. Though he have not charity, he has become as a tinkling cymbal, as a piano, or as a tape recorder, or a French horn, or whatever. Because that thing can play a beautiful sound, but it don't know what it's playing. Do you understand? Okay. All right.
Number 3.
It says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. That's just still telling you that it is Allah's gift. It makes no difference how much sacrificing you do, like what the messenger said to the preachers. He said, Reverend, as long as you preaching Christianity, I don't care if you make 1,000 converts a day. You have not made one convert for Allah. You've only made them for the devil. You see? To give your body to be burned is the same as saying you sacrifice yourself. What is the point of sacrificing yourself if you sacrificing yourself for the wrong one?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
You
sir.
see? Surely my prayers, my sacrifices, my life, and my death is all for who? Make sure it ain't for nobody else. All right. That's why you were told to stay behind me, seek refuge in me. So, may Allah's salam alaikum.